Hey, it's Kim Jana with NBD Life Coaching, and today's video is number 2 in the Don't Be a Dick on the Road series. Over time, I've accumulated tons of dick moves that I see happening, but I'll make some videos in the future. We can address all of them because there's so much fun to talk about. So today I am going to talk about the top 3 dick moves that I've been seeing recently. Number 1 is blind spotters. Not to be confused with your blind spot when you're driving, but what I'm talking about, and I'm sure this has happened to you before, are people that sit in a parking spot blindly. For some reason, their peripheral completely disappears. They can't see that somebody is waiting for that spot. So you're sitting in a parking spot, no intention on going anywhere. Maybe you're waiting for somebody that went inside. Maybe you're resetting your GPS. Maybe you decide to pull over and take a break. And somebody has pulled up thinking they found their parking spot because your lights are on. And they think, yes, rockstar parking. When you're sitting in your car and you're not planning on going anywhere, maybe you don't know this, but you do have a responsibility. So put yourself in the other person's shoes. You've all been in that situation where you're looking for a parking spot. Maybe you've gone around the block a few times, or maybe not, who cares? And you see somebody, it looks like they're gonna leave because, like I said, their lights are on. You're driving up, you have no way of knowing. So your responsibility is just to look for a parking spot. Now, if you're the person sitting in your car, you have a responsibility, and that is to look outside of your car. Yeah, I know. I know you think, again, we've talked about this before, you think it's just you on the road, but you're sharing the road with other people. So you're sitting in your car, take a look once in a while. If you don't plan on going anywhere, take a look to see if somebody's waiting for the spot. It is unacceptable for you to sit in your car, notice somebody's waiting, and just think, I'm not going to tell them, I'm just going to sit here. Why would you do that? It's a dick move. Why? Because you've been on the other side. You've been the person waiting for the parking spot. All of a sudden, you are resenting this complete stranger for looking for a parking spot. And I know we do that. We sit there like, it's not mine. Fuck that. I don't need to move. Nobody's asking you to move. But somebody thinks you're leaving, clearly. Takes 2 seconds to roll down your window, look at the person and be like, I'm staying. You know, that's a classic move. Everybody knows what I'm staying means. I'm staying. I'm not going. And the person will be like, okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know. I sat there not too long ago for like 5 minutes waiting for somebody. And finally I knock on his window and I'm like, dude, no, I'm staying. Did you see me? Yeah. Well, then say something. Where did we lose our ability to communicate with somebody? Just say you're staying. End of story. Moving on. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes. You would want somebody to do that for you. Do that for them. It's simple. So do not be a blind spotter. That's number 1. Number 2 are the thankless mergers. What do I mean by that? You're on the highway, you're on the road, whatever. Things are not moving too quickly. I'm not talking about a gradual merger, like something that happens naturally when it happens with momentum. Somebody cuts in front of you and, there was space, that's it. I'm talking about when you make the conscious decision to stop and let somebody through in front of you. Now, if you're that person that's merging in front of somebody else, you're in traffic, maybe you need to turn left, anything. Somebody has let you through. A quick thank you in your rearview mirror goes a long way. It's not hard. Now, don't be an entitled driver to think that people owe it to you to stop. Now, it's a nice thing to do to stop. It's very courteous and it's a nice thing to do to share the road. But if somebody is making that decision to let you through, why wouldn't you give them a quick thank you in the rearview mirror? Now, this is one of my, it's a preferred thing for me. It's not a must. You don't have to, but you know that somebody just decided to let you through because it's a nice thing to do. So just do the nice thing back. I was in traffic actually with somebody today and we weren't going anywhere and they merged in front of me. Nothing, no thank you. And somehow we ended up in the same situation again just because traffic was all effed, whatever. And they ended up trying to get in front of me again. No, you're not thankful. If you don't appreciate things, people won't give you things. That's just the way the world works. If you appreciate things, people want to give you things. If you're unappreciative or you don't acknowledge things, you should always acknowledge when people do things for you. That's just, it's a good habit to get into, whether you're on the road or not. But yeah, so be thankful. When somebody's letting you through, a quick little like, hey man, cool. That's all it takes. Number 3, and this is a story that I can share from this week that drives me crazy, are the help-me-nots. Now, I don't know if you're somebody whose car has never broken down, and if that's you, then I don't even think I know what I would say to you because you're like a unicorn in my group of friends or in my life. A lot of us out there, myself included, the car breaks down sometimes. That's just the way it is. Because time, because money, because it happens. Now I have jumper cables in my car. If my car won't start, at least I have jumper cables and I can try and get some help. Hopefully somebody will help me. The other day, 8 a.m. on my way to work, I stop quickly as something was making a noise with my car. So I pull over so I can check it out. I can't figure anything else out. I start the car again, it won't start. So now I'm stalled in a bus lane. I was there for an hour, standing on the side of the road with jumper cables in my hand, bright blue jumper cables. I could tell everybody could see me because people were honking at me, telling me to fuck off, yelling at me, but they could see me clearly. They couldn't see the jumper cables in my hand. No, they could see the jumper cables in my hand. But you're telling me in an hour, everybody that drove by couldn't stop and ask me if I needed a boost? Those were all functioning vehicles. They all drove by me pretty quick. Now, do not be that guy. Don't be that guy. I'm going to give you an example. 2 weeks ago, I came out of my chiropractor appointment, immediately saw a car that just wasn't going anywhere with a girl like inside, and people were honking at her and yelling, and so I quickly ran over, knocked on her window. She had been yelled at and honked at for so long, she was like wondering if I think she was worried that I was going to tell her off. Anyways, she rolled down her window. I asked her what was going on. She told me her car wouldn't start. I get excited and tell her I have jumper cables. I'll be right back. Finally, I go to the car. I don't have jumper cables. They've been moved into another car. Long story short, I come back and tell her, listen, I don't have jumper cables, but let me wave somebody down. The whole operation took me under 5 minutes. 5 minutes of my time to help somebody that's sitting in their car that's, probably exhausted. Like when it happens to you, you're much less of a position to be able to be, proactive than somebody else who's not experiencing it. So it took me under 5 minutes. I flagged down somebody. They came and boosted her. She went on her way. She was so thankful. And it's not because I'm an amazing human. It took me 5 minutes or less to help her out. But it's because if you don't walk around with blinders on and you can see what goes on around you, then you can take the time to be like, oh, hey, that doesn't look right. That looks unusual. Let me see if I can help. You don't need to know somebody. Chances are when your car breaks down, nobody around is going to know you. And trust me, you're going to want somebody to help you out. It's impossible that many people can't take 5 seconds out of their time, 5 minutes out of their time to help somebody. So do not be a help-me-not. If you see somebody that needs help, help them. Plus, you know what? It feels good to help somebody. It feels much better to stop and help somebody and ask them if they need help than to yell at them and honk at them and tell them to get out of the way. Clearly. Nobody chooses to stall their vehicle and to stand there. I felt like, I should just start reading my newspaper and like sipping coffee, help people. So those are 3 dick moves. Subscribe to my channel. And if you know anybody that does any of these things or that could use a little bit of road etiquette, send it their way. These are meant to just, create awareness mostly, because I know it's not always easy if it doesn't come naturally to you. So hopefully it can start to come naturally to you, because it really does feel nice to do something nice and to communicate with strangers. I know I do a lot of stuff on communicating with strangers, but it's always easier just to communicate, to be helpful, to be kind, than to be a dick on the road. Okay, and if you still want to be a dick on the road, then go ahead and be a dick on the road. I'll just probably make a video about it later on. All right, thanks for watching.